When you filter out all emotion because you're afraid of being too much, you're actually withholding something essential. Emotion doesn't make you manipulative, it makes you relatable. It helps jurors locate the facts in something familiar, something they can feel, something they can anchor to, even if they haven't lived it themselves. Because jurors aren't just processing your case intellectually, they're using emotion to help them sort meaning out of the noise. Welcome to the Foster Your Voice podcast with me, Christy Foster. After a 30-year career in music and theater, I never imagined I'd be coaching trial attorneys. But once I entered your world, I quickly realized how critical and underutilized voice is in the courtroom. The truth is, you don't win trials with brute strength. You win with your voice. I'll give you tools to unlock your voice so you can communicate not just with purpose, but on purpose. If you want quick action tips to help you stay calm and in control, keep jurors engaged, and inspire your listeners to action, all through the power of your voice, you're in the right place. I'm Christy Foster, and I'm here to help you foster your voice. Hello, Foster fam. Welcome back to another episode of the Foster Your Voice podcast. I'm, of course, your host, Christy Foster. And today we're going to explore the dichotomy of expression styles and what's really needed in order to get your audience to connect, whoever they may be. Before we do, though, let me just remind you that I send out weekly vocal tips and nonverbal communication strategies designed to give you quick wins in legal advocacy, all while showing up in authentic and powerful ways. I've put the link in the show notes, so just click that and then you can anticipate a burst of delivery inspiration directly to your inbox each week. Now, as always, as an appetizer of sorts to each episode, I like to share something that has intrigued me or challenged my thinking or just something fun for us to enjoy together. Now, last week, I came across a clip of Brené Brown. If you don't know who that is, Google her. Start looking into her writings and her teaching. Brené Brown. And she was being interviewed by Oprah on the topic of creativity. And it really stirred me. I've also posted the link to the clip in the show notes so you can see it for yourself. But she said, quote, "Unused creativity is not benign. It metastasizes. It turns into grief, rage, judgment, sorrow, and shame." End quote. Someone in the comments section wrote, "Creativity that isn't expressed doesn't just disappear. It transforms into frustration, self-doubt, and regret." Now, Brené goes on to say that creativity is part of our divine structure. So my takeaway is that when we suppress our creativity, in a way, we are oppressing ourselves and allowing the grief of being disconnected to take root. I'd love your thoughts about this. It just feels really deep to me. Not just philosophically deep, but like resonating in the deeper places. I don't know. Is it doing that for you too? I don't think it's saying that we all need to just sign up for local art classes or take our legal team to ceramic painting or do crafting retreats before trial. I don't think that's what it's saying. I think it's just inviting you to consider all the ways that creativity wants to live in you and through you. And maybe it is one of those things. That's fine. But maybe it's in daring to think outside the box on a particular case issue. Maybe it's exploring how to better use your voice and body to capture your client's story. Maybe it's any number of things, but it is something. So, will you email me Christy at fostervoicestudio.com, or send me a DM on any of the social platforms where we connect and let me know how you're going to explore and express your innate creativity this week. Let me hear your ideas and let's hold each other accountable for it. You know what I hate? Being misunderstood. It's actually one of my biggest fears, if I'm honest, right up there with birds. Yes, I'm afraid of birds. Leave me alone about it already. Being misunderstood is just the worst, though. Trying to communicate something and seeing that it's just not landing the way you intend. A too harsh of tone with your kid or spouse that ended up setting them off. A thinking face that got interpreted as annoyance or irritation and ended up shutting down the conversation and leaving you baffled. It's so frustrating in our personal lives, but in the courtroom, your mismatched communication profile could break your case and lose you a deserving verdict. So, I've created a free guide to get you thinking about the emotional profiles you create. It's a printable guide to help you 10x your communication impact by mastering 6 emotional profiles for clear and authentic connection. I break down the 6 core emotions: happy, sad, love, pride, anger, and fear by giving you face, body, and breathing cues. Plus, I show you exactly which point on a 1 to 10 scale you should be with your pitch, pace, melody, volume, and tone in order to authentically capture the center of that core emotion. The link to get your free guide is in the show notes or by simply going to my website, fostervoicestudio.com. Don't wait to clear up your part of miscommunication and misunderstandings. Get your free download today. Today we're talking about something that might sound a little squishy at first glance, but it's actually pretty foundational. Why facts alone don't stick, and what makes jurors truly care. Now, let's get something straight right out of the gate. I'm not against facts. I love facts. I love data. I love detailed spreadsheets and a solid timeline. And I know a lot of you do too, because many of you are logic-driven processors, like me. You build cases the way some people build bridges. Strong foundations, structured arguments, no gaps in support. That's a strength, and it builds trust. But even the strongest structures won't stand if no one remembers them. So here's what we know from neuroscience. When you deliver facts without emotional context, the brain stores them like filing cabinet data. Useful, maybe, but not likely memorable. But when you pair facts with emotional resonance, you activate the amygdala, the part of the brain that deals with emotional memory. That's what helps jurors remember your argument, not just hear it. And I'm not talking about being dramatic or trying to get people all riled up. Emotion in the courtroom doesn't mean performance. Let's separate those two ideas. It simply means presence. It means allowing your voice and your body to carry the full weight of what the facts actually mean. Now, let's make this real. You can say, my client missed 6 months of work. That's a fact. But if you say it like you're reading a spreadsheet or like it doesn't affect you, it lands as neutral. Just another bullet point that can easily get lost. But if you pause before that sentence, if your voice settles for just a beat, if your tone shifts even subtly to acknowledge the cost, if your eyes stay connected and your breath stays with you instead of racing ahead, now you're not just reporting the fact, you're retelling the truth. And that's where jurors start to care. Not because you layered in more adjectives, not because you gave them a visual metaphor and added drama, but because you brought the human weight of the moment into the room with your presence. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but Christy, I don't want to manipulate anyone. I just want to tell the truth. And I completely agree. I am staunchly against manipulation. I don't even like to use the word persuade. But when you filter out all emotion because you're afraid of being too much, you're actually withholding something essential. Emotion doesn't make you manipulative, it makes you relatable. It helps jurors locate the facts in something familiar, something they can feel, something they can anchor to, even if they haven't lived it themselves. Because jurors aren't just processing your case intellectually, they're using emotion to help them sort meaning out of the noise. And if you withhold that part of your delivery, your tone, your tempo, your presence, you're asking them to do that work alone. Now, if this feels like a gray area, if you're wondering, how do I know when I'm being real and when I'm trying too hard? Well, let me give you another anchor. Start with your breath. When you stay connected to your breath, your voice stays grounded. You're not forcing emotion. You're allowing what's already true to come through you. You're showing jurors, I've thought this through, I felt through this, and now I'm offering it to you with care. That's not performance. That's leadership. So here's what I want you to remember. You don't have to choose between logic and feeling. You're not being asked to perform or to become some highly emotional version of yourself that doesn't feel authentic. Instead, you're being invited to stay connected to what the facts mean so you can communicate that meaning clearly. That's what creates a compelling narrative. That's what builds trust and memory. That's what helps jurors not just understand, but care enough to act. So let's just do a quick recap. Facts matter, but facts without emotion are forgettable. Emotional delivery isn't about dramatic words. It's about presence. It's about tone and intention. Your breath anchors you, so stay connected to it. Emotion doesn't erase logic. It brings it to life. And this is about human connection, not about manipulation. And because I'm a teacher at heart, here's your homework. Find one moment in your upcoming trial prep, just one, where you tend to go on autopilot, where it's just easy to skate over, disconnect, undervalue the impact of something. Maybe it's a date, maybe it's a number, a piece of evidence that you've repeated 20 times. Ask yourself, what did this really mean for my client? And what does this mean for my listeners? Just making that one shift, asking those quick questions, can change how your jurors receive what you say. It invites them into the human story behind the legal one. Thanks for being here today. If this episode sparked something for you, if you're ready to bring more connection into your courtroom communication, again, I want to invite you to keep the conversation going. Get on my mailing list. I want to send weekly vocal nonverbal strategies that help you feel grounded, present, and heard. Again, the link is in the show notes. I'll see you next time. So keep showing up with clarity and care, and keep fostering your voice. Thanks for pulling up a seat with me today and for being part of the Foster fam. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast so you don't miss a single episode. And while you're at it, go ahead and leave a review or a comment so I can give you a shout out on a future episode. During the week, you can find me on Instagram at Foster Voice Studio, where I'm dropping little nuggets of vocal technique and leadership wisdom. You can also join my mailing list by visiting fostervoicestudio.com or by clicking the link in the show notes. I'll send a weekly vocal tip every Tuesday directly to your inbox. Until then, keep fostering your voice.